questions on that? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the other ear. And I just hold the ear by the base of the ear, like this. I just put my thumb in the front, my forefinger back here, and just go straight up. And then I can put my thumb there if I have to. That's what I'm going to do over here.
You know, when you're trimming the back of the ears, do you have to worry about cutting or running a tuft from behind?
No. No. Because the tuft should only grow, you don't need all this garbage back here. The tuft should only grow on the edge of the ear. You don't need a lot from here. You don't need a lot from back here. The tuft grows on the edge of the ear. The edge of the ear.
And you leave that?
Yes. And you trim it based on the shape and the size of the dog's ear. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay. So I just want to finish this up over here. So I make the head even. I just want to finish this back side. Let me turn this way. Let's see. Just a second. Okay, now I'm basically finished with the clipper work. And the other thing you might do is remember to set your clippers onto the floor or away from your table. If the dog lurches and knocks your clippers off, and I've had blades broken, and it's a little expensive to replace.
What about the inside, Charlie?
Inside of the ear? Okay, I haven't done that yet. Go on to that. Let's see my time. Okay, I have to time. So we're, I've clippered. We're at 4. Okay. All right, I'm just going to do this real quickly. I strip this between the eyes. The eyes are supposed to be wide and set well under the brow. I like to finger strip this in here. I pull it forward, and I take my thumb and my forefinger, and I pick. I pick the longest hairs in the direction it grows. I like to strip this area out in here. Okay? Then you can take some scissors and trim it up if you have to.
How do you determine the spacing?
It's usually about the width of your finger. And if you run your finger up from the nose, if you run your finger up, this is the stop. And you will feel a channel in the bone. Almost every dog has sort of a channel, and it's the width of the channel, about the width of your finger. Okay? All right. That was 4. 5. Now, he's asked about the ears. These are blending scissors. They're shortcut, and they have a lot of teeth that are closely spaced. These actually work like a hand clipper, because you're getting the same effect, like a hand clipper. Now I'm going to just use these in front of the ear to take some of the hair out.
In the direction.
Anytime I scissor, you'll notice I'm almost always moving my scissor. Think about this as a mini clippers. And it's not static. If you move it, you won't get blunt looking cuts. Just move your scissor as you go. And this hair should basically fill the ear, but not hang out. It's just to fill the ear. Okay? Look what it would look like without hair there.
Bad ear.
You'd look like you had a huge donkey ear. So you just fill this up in there. You just fill this up in there. Now the tuft, I'm going to show you how to do the tuft. The tuft should grow on the outside corner of the ear, not behind and not in front. You pull the ear out to the side like this. You take this hair. You can use it, it's easier with a comb, I think. Take the ear, pull it like this, take your thumb, pull the ear straight out to the side, raise the tuft straight up like this, and take a scissors and even this off. Yeah, I just pull it up like this, take it up like this. It sort of will be, it'll sort of be in a curve, and then pull the ear up and trim it right into the corner of the ear. Right into the corner of the ear. Basically, the reason for the tuft is to make the ears look closer set. And it's just a fill. It's just nice to look at. It's just a fill. I take my very small scissors, and after I've clippered, I take my very small scissors and I trim the edge of the ear as close as I can get it, so that the ears look very, very sharp and prick. Be careful if you've got real sharp scissors that you don't catch the ear leather. Every dog has a bell on it outside of its ear here. This should be really, really short, and you don't want to follow the ear completely, because with this little bell here, you want a smooth line. From here to here should be a smooth line. You don't want it to go down here, out here, and then under. So basically, the bell should be trimmed so that it goes into a straight line with the side of the ear. Let's see if I can go from this side. Now, he's had a bell, somebody, I think, it was cut slightly, and I think it was a battle. It's a battle wound. So his bell is like loose here. So I have to compensate for that, and I just try to do it like that. Okay, now, you can look at the difference between the ear that I trimmed. Oops, sorry, baby. And this is more sharp looking than this.
You do absolutely no clipper work on the inside.
Sometimes if the dog has if this is really thick here, yes, you have to take the ear back and go like this with the clippers.
Just the corner.
Yeah, I only do this. The rest I do with a scissor.
Can I clip the ears from the inside to get
In here?
Yeah.
Well, yes. You'll note my note here. The more hair that can be pulled rather than scissored on the head, the better. So if you can pull some of that hair out, fine. It's just a very sensitive area.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes easier just to scissor that, to shape it the way you want it. Now I have stripped his head pretty thin, and it will fill in and be the right length.
But it's long right now, right?
This is long. It was very long, and I didn't want to bald it. Some people do. Some people take this entire area and they bald it. So when it all comes in, it's nice in the same length. Some of the professional handlers, when they get ready to show a dog, they'll take this area a certain length of time before the show, and they bald it.
Before a show,
It's going to depend on your individual dog. If you're going to do clipper work like this, when you see how this is, it will always look better. It's like a kid always has his hair cut so many days before his class pictures, so that doesn't look freshly cut. So I would probably do him on a Tuesday before a Saturday show, but you have to play with that yourself. Now, what happens if you don't get it done on Tuesday? Well, if you don't get it done on Tuesday, and you have to do it on Friday, you can't use a 30 here. You probably use a 15 or maybe even a 10, because you don't want it to look scalped. Yeah. Okay? Okay, do you have any other questions on that? Okay, now, we'll go to number, we go to number 5. I use the thinning scissors. Number 6, define with the scissors the line of the beard, corner of eye to corner of mouth. Okay, corner of eye, corner of mouth. This should be a straight line. Okay, so if it's long, you can use it with you can do it with the thinning scissors. You can pull some of that hair if you want to. If you do that, I like to use a stone. And when you get to coat conditioning, we'll get the basis for using a stripping stone. But if this is very full here, you may want to pull some of this out. You may just want to strip some of this hair out so that the eyebrow lays flat into there. Okay? So, but this, and then I would take and even this off. If you have wispy hairs, you could just even them off and trim that in a nice, and this is a straight line.
So that it kind of blends in with the hair.
Yeah, you take off these fuzzies. Just take off those funny little fuzzies under there. And come straight up to the corner of the eye. Now, depending on the dog, you may want to come right to the corner of the eye. Some dogs you can leave a little bit longer here, but it'll depend on the individual dog and the look that you like. Just remember that grooming is an art, and each dog is different. What I show you may not be what you see in this next session, and you may like what he does with this area better than you do mine. Take it as an idea, adapt it to your own individual style, and go from there. Because there's no right way and no wrong way. Basically, the lines are the same. Now, the only other thing that I would do is, on the top of the nose here, I do use these just to clean it up. Some people will leave a part here and part it over here, but I like it. This, to me, makes it look like the muzzle's a little bit broader. So I use the thinning scissors in here. And to trim the eyebrow, normally, now some people will go this direction with the scissor, and some people will come this direction. It depends on, if this makes you nervous, come this way. But always remember when you trim an eyebrow that you come from underneath. Okay? You come from underneath. You trim the eyebrow from underneath.
And what are the lines? What's the line?
Well, basically, this eyebrow is too long. And it depends on the length of the muzzle. Again, each dog is different. So if you have a very short muzzle and you leave a lot of eyebrow, you're shortening it even further. If you have a nice long muzzle that matches the length of the skull, you can leave a decent eyebrow. And some dogs look better with a shorter eyebrow. You just have to determine that based on your individual dog. But just remember, trim the eyebrow from underneath. And if you go this direction, point your scissor to this inside top corner of the ear. Come this, rather than this way, come this way.
Follow the angle.
Yeah. Comes up under this way. It just depends. Now, if you come from behind, there's one thing I must caution you about. If you come from behind and you don't keep your scissor parallel to the skull, you will go like this, and you will take off this tip, and you'll have these real funky looking eyebrows. You won't get a nice pointed eyebrow because the tendency is to go like this. Okay, just remember you have to keep this perfectly parallel to the skull, so that as you come forward, because if you turn this like this, you'll take the tip off, and then you'll have these things that look like this instead of like this.